Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. I want the rest of this, we're going to go with a packed dirt approach, which we've been using in the rest of the yard. So it is, let me go through, it's that one there that we've been, yes, this is the one. So we're going to go with the packed dirt approach on here as well. And textures do strange things, okay? So for anybody that's unfamiliar with painting textures, they do some strange things. If you've got grass growing on the edge of the road, you can paint a texture up to the edge. You can't put the dome over the middle. You can also change it to a square. You press C and that changes. Obviously, you've got the controls. If you press F1, it does show you the controls. When you're painting stuff down, be careful, right? It'll go there, but if you have a look at this a minute, if I turn this round like that, and we're going to have a look here. If I paint there, I will click once. And you can see how far it moves over when it's going between them. So, slowly and carefully. Remember, there's no undo function on this. You want to go slowly and carefully. Now, I'm doing it there. If I go here, it's going to bring it back a little bit. Sometimes the overlap looks weird. Sometimes it's kind of intuitive as to where the overlap might be. You've got to play with it a bit, and because I only work in small bits, I only do like a little bit to a time, that's going to go too far into the clamp if I wanted to keep that all as concrete. But I don't actually want to keep that. It's not going too far in. I am surprised at that. So I can make this a bit bigger. If it goes to a certain line when you are using the smallest square, the bigger square will go to the same exact line. Right? That's where the edge will be. And it will always work like that. So what we're going to have, though, is we're going to have a dirt-bottomed... I don't want it out there. I need to move over by one square, which is over here. And that's where the edge of this clamp is going to be. We want the bottom of our clamp to have a packed earth base. We are just starting out. We don't have a lot of money available. Right? We are not made of money. We don't have anything resembling cash. So we're not able to afford a concrete base, which means that's why we're using the packed dirt, and that is what we've kind of got to use. So up this way, I know I've got to put some grass there. I'm now painting over the grass. Don't be afraid to change things round. And I don't want squares here now. I want to bring that out and up like that. It's going to be sort of the edge there, and that's going to go on up there. So this is going up into the rest of our fields. Think about gateways. Like you wouldn't necessarily have it all as packed dirt like that. You could probably very well have a bit of gravel down in there as well. But right now, money is an object. Like you say money's no object. For us, that isn't the case right now, so that's how we will access the rest of our field up there, and I'd say that's pretty good. I will just pull this out down here a little bit there, just shape that. It looks a little bit more organic and natural on there. Overall, I'd say that's pretty good. So there's our starting yard. That's what we're starting out with, and that's generally how I try to work when I'm doing the... See, I just want to bring that corner back in a little bit. You've got kind of squares that you've got to work with, so you've got to zoom out and go back a bit. Like, if I go back like that, it looks more of a natural curve there. If you get it right in close, the details do start to mess with your head a little bit, and they start to look a bit wrong. Like that down there, for example, that doesn't look quite right to me, so I want to just tweak that a little bit. By going in here, I've got a slightly different texture to what I've been using for the field, but I'm alright with that. And I'm going to bring that down here like that, because we wouldn't really be driving on that bit. That looks better. So now if I look back, that's looking a lot more like it. And the last little bit that I'm going to do is I am just going to grass over the top edge of the track a little bit, and we'll just bring that in there to kind of represent where the wheel marks might go. It gets a little bit muddy just like on the edge of the track, but that looks a little bit more of a natural line. And I could go, and I'm not going to do anything down here. We're going to leave that as packed earth just like that. Right, we're done. We're finished. I'm not going to do any more. There we have our new yard with our silage clamp. We've got enough room down here to go and store a few machines. Not a lot. Not a lot. We haven't got lots of space in here, but we've got room to store just a few little machines where we might need to. So I'm going to take off the top of that one, and that's actually removed the entire tree. Ideal. I'm not going to complain about that. Come down here. I know I got the other job to go and do, but I've got this job that I need to do, which is get rid of this tree. Right. You know what? I'm going to leave that one where it is for a minute. This job here has finished. That one is completely done, so we can back away from there a little bit. We can go to that job that's spraying. We've got sowing right in there, and I have got a reimbursement of 1,000 with all the seed that's left in there. I'm going to take the seed. We're gonna walk away with the seed on there. So there's 3,770 going into the kitty like that. Field 22 spraying is complete. I will leave that one just for a minute, and I'm gonna go to this field over here. Let's just double check that the field is actually sprayed, because otherwise there's a little tiny bit up there. You know what? That's fine. That doesn't matter. Fold that bad boy up, and while it's folding up, we will run down here. 3 litres of herbicide left in the tank. That is pretty impressive, actually. It's got to be said. 3 litres left over. I would say that is pretty good timing. Okay, we'll now step across the road, and we will go and get this next one going. Then, once I have done that, once he's underway, we will go and put the bio belts down. Might actually use that to cut down that little tiny sapling that's in the middle of our yard that I want to get rid of. And we can start taking a look at getting a mower and starting the mowing in our field over there. We've got everything else ready, and we've now got a steady income coming in. I know I'm going to have to fork out a bit, and I have just gone and spent a bit of money on not only installing that clamp, but rebuilding our yard over there. But I feel that that was money and time well spent over there. Getting that ready, we've now got an area for our small machinery before we start venturing off into the rest of the land that we own and doing much bigger projects. We've got a starting point. We've got something to begin with, and we can just kind of work from there. The rest of it will follow with time, but right now we don't need to be concerning ourselves with like finding somewhere to put stuff, and also with like all the weeds and everything that is just coming through the yard in general. So I think that no, I didn't want to do that. I pressed the wrong button there. I want to go back over this way a bit, and let's try that again, shall we? And this time we'll actually start spraying as we go up across the field. I'm going to manually do one pass along this diagonal just so that it's able to turn properly on here, and then we can leave the hired help work in the rest of this field, and then sort out that mower that we want. I'm just wondering if I should cut down some more trees first. I don't think I will. I think we've got enough to go and buy the mower, and we should be able to get enough then before we finish doing the mowing to be able to afford both the rake and the forage wagon that we're going to want. We don't need a tedder, so we don't need to be worrying about making any hay just yet. We just have what we have up there. Now, we cannot go and use any fertilizer on our field. We do organic farming. And yes, we could go and buy fertilizer, organic rated fertilizer, for much the same amount of money that we could go and buy regular fertilizer these days, but we're not going to do it for our gameplay here. We're sticking with organic farming. So once we've done one cut over there, it will sort of count as one layer of fertilizer. The second layer we won't be able to apply to any of our grassland until we are able to have our own cattle and doing stuff with them. Now, what are you going to do here? Are you going to turn around the right way? Apparently you are. Ideal for that. Wonder if he was going to do it or not. Apparently he is able to cope with that. So now I can go over to this one. I need to just turn around and park this one up over near there, because we're going to need to be able to fill up a couple of times with this bad boy. I've filled up twice now. But actually, no, that's the third load that we've had out of this tank. So we've got, well, we've had, I was going to say we've had 1,200, but we've actually had a little bit less than 1,200. I've got 2 full tanks left in this one, which should be enough to finish this field, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to finish anything else. I'm on 61% of herbicide in there. I'll bring you over to about here. That should be about right. And you can sit there. Right, that's fine. This one. I'm hoping that we can use the bio. So, this is our field. We haven't interfered with any part of the field up here. It's only there where the clamp is. We've lost a little tiny bit on the edge of the field. We've got a very steep track here that runs up into our yards, but that's not any major problem. Jump off of you, and then we'll go over here. So I want my old chainsaw out, and there. I'll take that one off. Let's cut off the rest of it. Cut you. I love the way that that has just stayed upright like that the whole time. That was brilliant, but it went through it. This one, however, is not liking me at all. So, oops. That one right there. This is where we're going to have to rely on our bio belts, and hopefully this will... No, I don't want to do that. It wasn't an X. It was, I need to press B on there. Start that one. And that has gotten through it. Ideal. Right. There shouldn't be anything else that I need to worry about. So this bio belt here, we're probably not really going to be using this very much. Well, at least not for quite a while. So I'm going to stuff this one right back in the corner over here. Now, let's be honest. If we did live here and this was our farm, we wouldn't have to leave a big gap around the edge of the fence. Not really. You'd make sure that you got on well with your neighbours, because they wouldn't own a piece of land like that and then, like, not have it marked out. So because it's sort of on our side, we're just going to assume that we do actually own this and we don't need to worry about it. Now, I need a mower. We want to get a mower and we want to get started on this job. So we have got available to us. This requires 80 horsepower. I don't think our tractor will be able. I just don't think it'll be man enough to pull that. So we're not going to worry about it. I've got that one, which is a front-mounted mower. That is a front-mounted mower, and that is a front-mounted mower as well. That's 2.4, that is 2.6, and that is 3.1. I don't have any kind of side-mounted mower. This requires a bit more horsepower up here. These 8-meter wide mowers. That one says 60 horsepower. That is quite a big track. There's quite a big mower there. Kind of like the idea of using that one. It's 16 grand. This one's 12 and this one's 12. I don't actually have 12. That's 2.6 and that's 2.4. I think we'll go with this Pottinger right here at 4 grand cheaper, because I think I might actually be able to afford it. Because if I go into here, I have got that one contract there complete. So I collect that bit. I can't afford it. I have 11,717. Which is not quite enough to be able to buy the mower. So we are going to go and remove another tree. And we're going to do it with this tractor this time, rather than using the other tractor. Actually, how much? I've got 3% left on the herbicide here. Let me just stop that a second up there. And jump down to you. You can drive up to the other end of the field. We can load that one up. There's another tank full. And he's got 1 tank full left after that. Well, it's actually going to be like a couple of litres left. We'll have to go and get another tank of herbicide so that we can keep going with this job. And that's going to be another expense that we're going to have to deal with. And that expense, well, I can finish this contract. We are gonna have to do a little bit of work with the. Let's just bring that one over to there like that. Go to you. Load you right up like this. And I'm actually going to take this one over to this side so that I'm not like doing a run down that is spraying down the track all the way down through, just because I don't think it's the right thing to do. Bring that over here like that, and we will start from this point right here. So off you go, and you go and do that bit, and I will move... Ooh, stop it. I'll move the pickup out of the way so that I can come back up through a little bit later. I should have one more full tank of herbicide in there, and there's going to be a little tiny bit left, but you know, the little tiny bit, it doesn't really matter. We'll put you down here. So we're going to need to move a couple of trees before we go and do anything else, because we don't currently have the money to do anything else. That tree is going to stay right where it is, and I'm not going to get rid of it. We go up into our fields. It's a steep old hill, this. Right, it's not the best way to get up into the field, and later on, maybe we will do some more terrain modification and dig a piece out, a better track along there, but that costs money. Money which we don't currently have, so we're not going to do that at the moment. Now, I got a tree right there that I could move, or we can go to this stand of trees up here and we could have one or two of these out. And I'm thinking the stand of trees up here is a better option. We'll take some of that out. That's going to give us a little bit of money so that we can then go and get some more. I've got a beautiful big tree right there. And I'm also thinking this tree right here, this one on the edge. So if I can have that one and fell it down that direction, start off by doing that. So let's crouch down here like this. That's as... There, I'll bring that one down fairly low, like that. There's some good timber in the bottom of this one. Look at that. There we go. That was very nearly right on top of my tractor. That's probably not a good way to start things off, is it? So we're going to take down another one right here. The thing with these trees, I will eventually, I think, go and plant some new ones in here. We will plant a couple of new ones in here just to replace these. Right now, though, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Don't roll off too far, please. Right. So, there's phase 1 complete. We have chopped them down. I've got some little bits there. I'm not going to worry about those little bits. I'm going to come up here like this. I'm going to run up along here, and I'm going to try and clear all of the branches off of this one. Like that. There. Right. That one's cleared all the way along. No, I'm going to do the same with this one. Then we're going to chop it up. And that's the slightly more difficult bit. And then not only have we got to chop it up, we've also got to winch it all in together and then drag it down and sell it at the mill down there. That's not a big problem. At least I'm hoping that's not going to be a big problem. Right, you are down over there, and that's everything cut off of that one as well. So, how long pieces should we go? We'll go one here. Like that, and then I'll go with another one here. Like that, and then I'll go with another one here. These are some big old logs. I'm thinking maybe we should be cutting these into 5 rather than trying to cut them into 4. I'm thinking maybe cutting them into 4 is the wrong move. However, it's what I've decided to do, so we're going to run with it. Where is the edge? There used to be a tape measure mod that you could use. I used to get irritated with the tape measure mod because it took so long to use it. I didn't actually like using it. You know, it seems useful on the surface, but it ended up just irritating me because it took so long to measure out each tree, and I did find that it wasn't all that accurate anyway. Let's go about there, shall we? Right, 2 trees on the ground, and we will hopefully... The herbicide is just about run out over here. Haven't got a lot left to do in this field. 5, 4%... 3%, and you stop right there, and we've got 8 litres left. If I just back up to it, I don't need to fold anything. Just bring that one over and round like that, and then back up here, and then when we've done the field, I can just put the last little bit in And then we can go and get a new herbicide tank. So I can load that one up there. Like that. There's only going to be a little bit left in there. Come over this way. Are we going to do this in a single pass, or is this 2 passes? This is 2 passes. Right. I'll bring you over there. That's definitely 2 passes. So I can have a little bit of overlap, but it doesn't really matter. And I will put you to there, and off you go. And then you've got that one last little bit just there. So I want to go to this one. And I've got this tree right here. So I'm going to put one on there. Actually, no, I don't want to put one on there at all. I want to put one on there. And then I want to put one there. And it's going to drag the 2 of them together. That's what we will do with that. So I'll start up this. I'm actually just going to move it round there a little bit. And then we'll lower that down. We'll start up the winch and start that moving like that. It's actually... Oh, I was going to say, it's so close together that it's not moving the logs quite the way that I wanted it to. But it's not too bad. Pull that in like that. And that can stop there. Climb out a minute. Remove that winch. Remove that winch rope. Remove that piece and that piece. Then I want to do the same on here, really. I just want to join the 2 together. So I've got to find where the other cut is. There it is, right there. So I can do exactly the same on this bit. We will do the main winch on there and a secondary piece on there. Jump back in again. And then haul those 2. Contract on field 18 is finished. Let's winch these 2 up. Are they too close together? No, I don't think they are too close together. This is the difficult bit, is getting it just right on here. So if I go then, control... No. Shift B undoes everything. And I'll move it forward a little bit like that. And then I'll jump out, and I will go here, and we will put the first one, we'll go one onto there. Another one onto that one, over onto here, and over onto here. So that should get everything. So I've got Helper J has completed their task. We will take you, start folding you up, and go over to this tank and just grab the last little bit. I'm going to want to move that tree in just a second, but we kind of this has got to take priority. We've got to keep these jobs moving. So I'll bring you over here, and it's going to use up the last... There's hardly anything in here. There, see? Pretty much nothing left. And we have a look in here. So field 18 is now completed. Beyond there, I got field 11, which is just across the road. So that's my next one. I'm going to go over this way. I'm going to spin around like this. And we'll have to drive straight back to the dealership with the pickup once I've started this one going. And get started on that bit over there. I've got no gateway coming out of this field apart from all the way up here in this corner. There is a bit in the corner here, and we can use that on this side. Oh, and there is a bit on the corner on this side. Ideal. We can go right through there. That's good. And we are doing field 11, which is corn. How am I going to do this one? I wonder. It's not very even, is it? I think what I'll do is I'll do a pass along here, because this is also a little bit wiggly. But I don't want to be driving out onto the road with the sprayer. So if I do one run along here myself, like this, need to I did unfold it. I unfolded it properly. Tell me I haven't unfolded it. Right, there we go. So we've now got this one running. If I run this all the way along here, and then I'll bring the sprayer back over to this side, and I'll start working this kind of diagonal corner, and like the triangle bit, and then that will end up like doing the final part of field 11, the straight edge over here. That'll be easy. We can deal with that sort of in a little while. We won't worry about it for a minute. So I'm going to need to... The issue that we got is that we're going to have to go and spend another $2,000 on more herbicide now. It's 2,400 for another tank of herbicide, and I got a feeling that we're going to need more than that still. We're going to need at least another tank after we've done this tank full. So we're looking at close to 4,500 in herbicide, which, considering that we actually want to run an organic farm, is not brilliant. I'm not entirely happy about that, it must be said. I would prefer not to be spending any money on herbicides. I don't like the idea of using herbicides. I've never liked the idea of using herbicides. I've always been someone who's very much in favour of organic. Don't necessarily have to be certified organic, and I've never really had a problem with using artificial fertilizers. I don't like herbicides and pesticides. I don't like sprays. I've never liked sprays. I've never felt comfortable with the idea of using sprays or being involved with using sprays, and I don't like the idea of produce, anything that's got sprays on it. I don't like it. I don't like the idea of it at all. So, whereas, you know, I know some people who, if they're going to go organic, you know, why use artificial fertilizers? The artificial fertilizers don't concern me. It's mostly nitrogen and potassium anyway that goes on, like nitrates and stuff like that, and they put that onto the field. It doesn't poison the plants. It doesn't poison anything with it. Yes, if you put too much on, it will run into the river courses, and it will eventually poison the rivers by causing an algal bloom, which is a bit different. That's not actually poisoning the river. It's putting too much fertilizer, causes a load of algae to bloom, which then causes the river to lose all its oxygen and chokes it, and then kills all the fish. It's not poisoning it, it's making it too fertile, essentially. That's the sort of what happens. And the same thing happens if you dump a load of slurry into a pond. If you put a load of fertilizer or you put a load of manure into the river, the same thing will happen. You'll end up with an algal bloom. So that bit, yeah, you know, I can live with that. That's kind of like a natural process. And yeah, the artificial fertilizers have probably got some bad ways that they are actually obtained and created and so on. But, you know, I sort of feel it's like a bit of a happy compromise. So for me, I just feel particularly uncomfortable with the idea of using this stuff. I don't like using this stuff at all, and I try to avoid it wherever I can. Very, very occasionally, I may be in a position where I've got to use some kind of herbicide, but generally, I will do everything I can to avoid it because I don't like it. I don't like the idea of having it on my food, and the only reason that I would go and buy organic is not because of the fertilizer situation. I'd be quite happy to buy something that's classed as organic that's had artificial fertilizer put on it. It's the herbicides that I don't like. It's the long-term effects of the herbicides and the pesticides and stuff that are used in non-organic. That's what I don't like. The insects that are being killed in their gazillions by the various herbicides and pesticides that are sprayed onto the crops. That's what I don't like. And artificial fertilizer doesn't have that kind of effect on the world. Whereas the sprays, the pesticides and the herbicides, they do. And that's the bit that I don't like. I could be completely wrong on this, by the way. Phil, if I am wrong on this, please correct me. I would like to know if I am wrong on this, as always. Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.